Well, Jason Stevens, great to have you here at the Alumni Center. You're home away from home, we often like to say, and how neat it is to finally meet you in person. You're kind of a celebrity on campus. Maybe not everybody that listens to this knows this yet, but you kind of made some news about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I guess, whenever it was.
Yeah, a week and a day. It was a Wednesday game.
Okay.
Today's Thursday. So, yeah, a week and a day.
All right. Well, there you go. So if you didn't know, for the audience and everybody listening, you had the honor of you had to hit a layup during the basketball game. You had to hit a layup, free throw, and then a three-point shot.
Yes, sir.
And then a half-court shot. And you just kind of rolled through them. You had a little trouble in the free throw line.
I did.
I watched the video.
I was so nervous on the free throws, which is funny because it was actually a two-part challenge.
Right.
I had a pregame challenge where I had to shoot. It was a free throw contest against somebody else, another student from the crowd. And that free throw challenge was so smooth. My free throws, I thought that was the best part of my game.
Right.
So then going to the halftime and doing the layup, then the free throw, and I hit everything in my first shot other than my free throws. It was on my third shot. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, dude, you were fine earlier. What's going on now? What happened now? And looking back, you can see my legs just from, the nerves and the excitement and the adrenaline. I go to shoot the free throw, and I almost shoot it like a jump shot, and I'm just all over the place. So then honed in collectively, made the free throw, went on to the first shot, then
don't go to the half-court shot.
We'll get there.
I was out of town that game and gave my tickets to somebody else, and they texted me about it and said, that was pretty amazing. This kid hit the half-court shot. And, you're out in front of 12, 15,000 people. How many people? I mean, and you got to the half-court line, and I've seen the video on this. I hear the Raider, and you got a loud power.
Yes, sir.
To kind of help support you in the event. But
needed that.
Take us through that.
So it was actually surreal, just being, like you said, 12,000, one of 12,000 to be picked out in general, just as a start, and then getting to have the challenge and having the ultimate thought of you get to go out here. I've been a Tech fan my entire life, as we'll get to, and making the layup, making the free throw, making the three-pointer, and walking back and just being able to, try to get the crowd involved. I mean, that's a lifetime dream right there. And then getting to half court and having the MC ask me, do you have anything to say? And I knew going into it, I planned ahead for that moment. I've always wanted to do a Raider Power. I mean, if you are a Red Raider, the Raider Power chant. Right. The first time I ever visited Lubbock, going to a football game and hearing that in the crowd was just surreal. So I was like, I'm gonna do a Raider Power chant. Yep. And if they don't give it back to me, I might not even shoot the shot. And so I was, can I get a Raider? And just seeing 12, 15,000 people reply, I think that's what made the shot for me.
They were all in for you,
I wasn't even worried from there on. I said, I got everything I wanted out of this. And so I just sat there and dribbled a few times and thought, don't overthink it. And the only thing I kept telling myself is do not airball. Because our student section, just seeing this from the entire student, airball. I was like, I can't walk off like that. I got the Raider Power chant. Now just hit the rim, hit the backboard, hit anything. Just don't airball it. So I'm there dribbling, let it fly, and there's a shot from behind. I'm just holding it. And everyone came up to me saying, you knew you were going to make that. You could tell by the way you were good form, holding the form. That's what people do when they know it's going in. Right. And in all honesty, I was holding it, and I was thinking to myself, that's on a good line. If I get it there,
at least it's straight.
Has a chance.
Yeah.
But I felt like I let it short. And I was just holding it with all this fear going on. Oh, my gosh, I'm about to get airballed. I'm about to walk off with a red face. And it goes in, and there's a split second where, in my mind, it's longer than a split second. But I'm holding the shot, and I'm thinking, I didn't plan for this part. I planned to make it. I planned to Raider Power, but I didn't plan for it to go in. So what do I do now?
You didn't expect the success there.
No chance, I thought. So then it just takes over. Just the intrusive thoughts is just go get the crowd hyped. You already did it once. You did it pretty well. They're in. They're all paying attention because they all chanted power back. So then there goes the running. Yeah. And the hands in the air and trying to get the crowd into it, shoulder pumping these guys that are running to me. It was the most surreal moment, just being on that stage and being able to capitalize on that moment and just give the fans exactly what they wanted.
Right.
And so, I've seen so many half-court shots in person, and you've seen them on social media the ones that go in.
Right. Yeah.
But the ones I've always been present for, never seen them go in. No. So it was a surreal moment. And every time I've told this story, I've always ended it with, imagine if it didn't go in.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be anywhere.
Right.
This wouldn't be happening. I could have done the challenge and not missed a free throw one time, made everything on my first shot, missed the half court shot, and there's none of this. So the half court shot was just the icing on top.
Well, it'd be interesting. You're part of an elite club, right?
Oh,
those that have made the shot.
For sure.
You ought to start a fan club among yourselves.
Yeah,
or something
right.
like
just
that.
Every time.
Well, I was so excited for you, and obviously I hadn't met you, and I heard the story and got a lot of publicity, and I was listening to the radio. I guess it was last Saturday, in fact.
Yes, sir.
You were on Thetford and Ashby, and I was driving around town, and I heard that, and I thought, well, that's neat. And I remember texting Thetford and said, get me his contact info. I want to meet him, and invite him over to the Alumni Center. Of course, he reads that over the air.
Yeah,
so they didn't have to be all public. So I appreciate you coming in and being with us today to kind of help share that moment. I know this is something that a lot of alumni will enjoy hearing about and knowing about. Obviously, those that were there will always remember it. You'll always remember it. And you win 2 tickets to the Final Four as
yes,
part
sir.
of this? Is that right?
National championship, but I think it's the Final Four as well. I'm still in conversations with Tech Athletics and fan engagement.
Because that's in San Antonio.
Yes,
so
sir.
It's obviously very convenient.
Very convenient. I mean, wouldn't want it any other way. Normally, those type of prizes, you win them, and now it's figure out how to get to New York or get to Chicago, wherever the game is played. And knowing that it's in my home state, in the backyard, 2 hours away from my hometown, it's so easy, and it's an opportunity to bring my family with me.
They're going to let you do a half-court shot at the
championship
game.
Maybe. This is my pitch. How about that? Let's get another one going.
Well, it's so neat to hear the story and how exciting, and understand you have a girlfriend, and she might be doing the trip with you, or did she become your girlfriend afterwards, or was she already on board with you, or what? How did that come about?
So that's funny because Thetford and Ashby, also want to give a shout out to them. That was so much fun. Those are such cool guys. They said they're going to call me at the Final Four game and have me back on. So awesome experience. Shout out to them. But they were making the same joke. And, yeah, I made the shot, and then I look at my phone, and I got this text from this girl that's like, hey, that's pretty cool. How about you bring me? And I'm like, all right. No, but we've been together for 1.5 years now, and she actually wasn't there for the shot. But to her defense, like I've said before, going into it, I had no idea that I was going to get picked, and neither did she. And she graduated last semester as well, or almost a year ago now. Right. And so she's working here for a physical therapy company, and so she couldn't get into the game anyways with her student ID. But
so y'all met here at Tech?
Yes, sir.
At Tech, okay.
We met about 2 years ago, and we've been together now, dating, as Thetford and Ashby might call it, for 1.5 years. Right. And, the rest is history. We've been going strong. She just left out of town. I would have brought her with me, had her hang out. But,
well, I'm sure you got a lot of buds that are probably lobbying to get that extra ticket and everything. Definitely. But I guess, depending on how that relationship goes, she's probably first priority.
All my buddies are saying, I hope I'm the first one to reach out on the congratulations. Now I know there's 2, not 1. So how about me?
Standby list going.
I was like, I can't pick favorites here, so I'm going to go with the safe option and go with the girlfriend.
There you go. Well, congrats again on the shot. That's exhilarating. It's such a neat thing and fun thing to celebrate. Great halftime entertainment. But, and again, thanks for coming here. I just want to learn more about your story. You're from Belton originally.
Yes, sir. Belton, Texas.
And we get to visiting here before this interview and found out that I had actually met your father at, what's the name of the restaurant?
It's Clem McKeska's.
Clem McKeska's. I have a hard time pronouncing that. But our Bell County chapter, we had a meeting there with quite a few of our alumni. And,
yes, sir.
And you had mentioned to your dad, and your dad said that he'd actually met me. We had a dinner meeting with our alumni chapter there at this place that's actually run by the daughter of the founder, who's also actually a Tech grad, which is why we met there. So it's really neat to make that connection. And, the Alumni Association, we have these alumni chapters all over the place. So it's neat to see that you're a product of a Red Raider yourself that's involved with our Bell County chapter. So it's neat to make that connection. But you grew up in that area.
Yes, sir.
What was your hometown?
Belton.
Belton, right. Bell County, Belton. How'd you get to Tech? Tell us about your background.
So, it's a crazy scenario. So I've always been a Tech fan, but I never saw myself a Texas Tech student. I never allowed myself to do that in the sense of always played sports in high school, always wanted to continue doing that in the collegiate level. And then I played football, and that was my goal, was to go somewhere, whether it be walk-on or scholarship, and play football somewhere. Right. And then I ended up breaking my collarbone my sophomore year, and then following that, breaking my opposite collarbone. So I broke both collarbones my senior year. And
were you a receiver? What position?
So I was a safety.
Okay, defense.
The first time I broke my collarbone, and then my senior year I played safety and receiver, but I broke it as a receiver.
Okay.
So I've broken a different collarbone on different sides of the ball. But
wow.
I had struggled seriously with, is this something I want to do going forward? Do I want to be an athlete, or do I want to just be a part of the game, not as an athlete, whether it be a coach, mentor, whatever it might be? So I struggled very, very hard with that, prayed about it, talked to my parents about it, broke my collarbone, fourth game of my senior year, go to the doctor. He tells me you'll never, not never, but you're probably done for the season. And from that point, I left that doctor's meeting with my parents, and I was just in tears. And I thought, it's a sign. I prayed about it, and I'm done for the season. So I think I'm done, and I'm at peace. Yeah. There was no conflict in my mind. Although there were tears and there were prayers, I was at peace, and I was confident with it. So from that, I start looking at schools, and I just think, why? I've always been a Tech fan. I've watched all Tech sports, all Tech athletes, from the Keenan Evans of basketball to, Patrick Mahomes to Keem Grant.
But you just hadn't seen yourself as a student. You hadn't pictured yourself in that way.
And I just think it's from where I'm from. I always wanted to be close to home.
Right.
Tech was 5.5 hours away, and so I just never made the trip up there. I never had gone to a game in person, watched every game from my home, wherever I was. And so I finally gave myself the opportunity. Well, now that I'm going somewhere as a student, why have I never given Tech that opportunity? It's always been, the Central Texas area I'm looking at, but nothing's drawing me there except how close it was. So I go on a visit with my parents and bring some friends who were also contemplating the same thing as me. And we go to a Texas Tech football game against Kansas State in 2019. Yeah. And we had amazing seats right on the home side, about the 20-yard line on the south end zone, about 5 rows up. And as we had mentioned earlier, the Raider power got me. Yeah, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, this is awesome. And I'm a sports guy. And when you think of sports and collegiate area, Tech's got to be in your mind. Yeah, has to be in your mind with all the sports complex, teams, athletes that they've had. It's just up there. And so I'm sitting there watching the game, and this is where I want to be. This is home. I don't want to be on the field playing. I want to be what I am right now, and this is where I want to be. Okay. As Raider, you're hearing Raider this
side. Now, was that your first time on campus?
It's my first time.
Really?
Well, my dad found a picture the other day and sent it to me of me when I was probably 7 years old in front of the baseball field. So I've been here before, but never with good recollection of Lubbock. So this was my first imprint of this is what Lubbock's like.
First imprint. That's
and this is what Texas Tech is. And
seeing the campus for the first time.
Seeing the campus, everything about Texas Tech was just, it felt like home away from home, like you had mentioned here is. And so it didn't take me long from there to apply and realize this is where I wanted to go. So I got here in
what about your studies?
I'm a sports management major.
Right. Okay.
And so that's what I did when I came here. I got here in 2020 when COVID it was in August of 2020. So it was not as big as it was, but still all in the air. And so first semester was pretty hard because, a lot of online things and not being able to reach out. But I continued to do intramurals that were available, the outdoor stuff, and meet a lot of people. And from there, I continued to do sports management, thought about going to kinesiology because I thought I wanted to challenge myself a little more, and met with my advisor, and she asked me, well, is PT school or something that you're interested in? And I was like, not really. She's like, well, then just, if you're a sports management's the way to go, do it. And so finished that, graduated last semester, and now I'm in grad school of sports management as well. Okay. Taking 3 classes, and grad school, I was nervous about it, but I absolutely love it. It's a completely different experience. You're with the same students all the time, because you have the same amount of grad students taking the same classes, presentation based, so you get to do things like this, public speak to your peers, come up with ideas, and venture out, and you feel like you're not in a classroom. You're in a real world setting. And so I really appreciate that and what I've done so far, and excited for the future.
Oh, that's exciting. That's neat. And you plan to graduate
Yes, sir. I will. My
What's your
expected
timeline?
graduation is May of 2026.
Okay.
So when May hits, a year from now.
So aside from hitting the big bucket
Yeah.
a week and a day ago, what are some of your takeaways from campus? Some of your memories of being at Texas Tech?
I mean, the first thing I think of, and I think a lot of people would agree with me as well, is just the people. It's not hard to make friends. It's not hard to collaborate with different people doing, of course, my side is very sports centric for what I am, sports management, the side of campus I'm on. I worked at the University Recreation Center.
Okay.
So I'm very sports centric.
Rec Center. I worked in the Rec Center
Really?
part-time as a student.
Yes, sir.
Probably before you were born. But I've got
Part-time
memories
as
of the
well. I
building.
was a facility
Right when that
assistant.
place was built.
Really?
It was state-of-the-art in its
Wow.
day back
Hey,
then, as
still
it is
is.
today.
That's what
But
I'm
go
claiming.
ahead.
It
I mean,
still
we
is.
have that in common. That's neat.
But yeah, just the people here. It's so easy to meet people, make friends, have conversations. I mean, as simple as this. I mean, you don't get this in at every college. You know, just I hit a half-court shot, and I've been invited on radio shows. This interview here, I've had people reach out for me for the Daily Toreador, the student-ran newspapers, and so it's just the reach
you're a
out
celeb
from people.
now. I mean, you just
I take it in. I'm trying to milk it as long as possible. It's been a week and a day ago, and I remember it to the date. So,
That's right.
but yeah, the people here is awesome. Again, just the atmosphere of everywhere you go. Again, I'm very sports centric, and when I talk about the USA and the Jones, but it's everywhere you go. They're just the people show up, and the atmosphere is there, and the vibes are up, and you never feel. Even in my grad school classes, when I go to present in front of people, I'm not like, oh, I'm feeling judged, or people are. It's all
You're with your own tribe.
honest feedback. It's home away from home. That's
Right.
exactly what
Yeah.
Lubbock is, and that's exactly how it's portrayed.
That's neat. So you're a second-generation Red Raider.
Yes, sir.
You know, hopefully at some point there'll be a third
Third or
coming
fourth.
through down the pipe. I met you, and I see you got the Tech ring on. I was excited to
sir.
see that. You got that last fall.
I did indeed.
And, you know, with the ring, that's a way in which you can carry it with you everywhere you go.
100%.
We've often said that the ring is a catalyst for conversation. You know, I'm sure you've already had people say it, but whenever you go away from this place, people are going to say, oh, you went to Tech. I see you're a Tech grad.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity. It'll be interesting to see what stories you tell. So, yeah, I hit a half-court shot there. But you're able to talk about your education, the quality of the education, and the experiences and the friendships and the
Yes,
memories made. But you weren't able to go to the ceremony this last fall, you're telling me. So I want to officially give you an invitation. This April, we're going to have another ring ceremony in the arena. And I don't think we could do a half-court shot. We've got chairs on the floor there. But if you'd like to take part in that ceremony, you need to take part in that. That's a big part of
Yes,
the ring
sir.
tradition, and that'd be a memory. We'd love to have
Yes,
you
sir.
there. I
I'd
know
love
you
to.
weren't able to attend in the fall due
Yes,
to
sir.
a conflict. But
I wish, yes, sir. I wish I could have the opportunity, and that's how I got my ring. But I'd love to go again and have that experience. And
yeah,
again,
we've had some that have done that. We've had alumni that come.
really,
Yeah, when they
Oh,
get the
wow.
ring, and we kind of work them into the ceremony if they like, you know.
That's so fun.
So that's a neat thing, and the ring tradition is such a powerful thing here on campus, and here with the Alumni Association, we used to host them here at the Alumni Center, but it's gotten so big we do it at the arena, and we host a ring reception afterwards, a post-ceremony reception here at the Alumni Center, which is really nice. And of course, we got the ring statue out here.
Yeah.
Everybody's wanting to get pictures
Pictures
of
of-
themselves with the ring.
Yes, sir.
But that's a real cool thing. But you're able to wear that ring, and you're able to carry your memories of this great place with you. If somebody were to ask you, tell me about your time at Tech, what's the big takeaway? What's going to stick out the most with you?
Well, I made a half-court shot. No, I'm kidding. I definitely would just say what sticks out the most. I would just have to tell people, you know, look around me. The relationships that I've made and the people that are with me are going to be carried with me for forever. I mean, all the friends. I can't say all the friends, but most of the people in my life right now I've met at Tech or came to Tech with me. And same with, I can say with my parents. My grandfather worked here in the biology building in the 80s. So everyone currently in my life that has a huge impact on my life, Tech did as well.
Right.
And that's what I'll carry with me. You know, my best man in my wedding is somebody that I've met here at Tech already, coming to visit this weekend. Just my best friends, the closest people with me are all Lubbock, Texas Tech grads, people that came here, and they would all say the same thing about this place. That's why they come back and visit. They're working in Dallas or Austin or San Antonio, and they still want to take trips up here to go to Tech games, just go back to Tech food, the Rain Cafes, the Spankies, the places like that. And so it's just having that around me. I'll always have it with me. And I think that's what I'll carry with me and holds a special place in my heart is ever since I grew up, Tech pillows, Tech blankets, Tech on the TV. Yeah. It's always Tech. And that's what I'll carry with me.
Sounds like the Legacy Club. Sounds like the Legacy Club there working for you and everything. Well, listen, thanks again for visiting, and proud of you. Yeah. Congratulations and good luck to you, whatever you do after graduation. But
I appreciate it.
Again, this is your home away from home. You're welcome here.
Always will be. Always will be. This is an awesome opportunity. Thank you for having me reach out and having me on for this. I never would have expected anything of this, so this is pretty cool, and I appreciate it. I'm very appreciative.
You're #one of us, as we like to say.
There we go.
So it's great to hear your story, and thanks for sharing it.
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.